Let's start recording. Here we go. So, 6B. 6B. So to get into the good section, good to very good, you have to be able to solve 6B type problems. If you can't do this one, then you're sitting at developing and competent. If you can't do 6A, then you're below that. Here's the example. Thank you. You got a ratio of 1 to 3. When you say 1 to 3, you're essentially saying one person gets one part. So here we go. This person A gets one part. Person B, so this is person A, this is person B gets 3 parts. So this is B, B, B. Now they're equal parts there. But person B gets 3 of them, person A gets 1 of them. That's what 1 to 3 actually means. How many total parts can you see there, Tom? 4. There are 4 total parts. Which logically is just 1 plus 3. That tells you how many parts there are in total. So, when you actually think about it mathematically, out of 4 parts, person A is only getting 1 out of 4. So I'm going to say that again so you can see the logic here. Out of 4 parts, person A is only getting 1 out of 4. So that means out of the total, person A gets a quarter of it. Whereas person B, they're getting, out of 4, how many parts? 3. So they're getting 3/4 of the total. That's what it means when you say a 1 to 3 ratio, you are implicitly saying to someone, first person gets 25% of the total, and person B gets 75%. That's me explaining it to you. Your skill is to be able to understand that when you read a ratio. That's the power. The power is to understand 1 to 3 actually means 1/4 to 3/4. Once you understand it's actually 1/4, 3/4, then you can actually solve problems. Here's an example. If I change this problem to, let's say that the total number of parts is equal to $50. Okay? Person A gets a quarter of it. Person B gets 3/4 of it. That's what we're saying. So $50, if we want to split $50 with a ratio of 1 to 3, we know that we need to figure out what's a quarter of 50 and what's 3/4 of 50. Now, that language there, this is why I said get your calculators ready. How do we find a quarter of 50? How do we do that? Very good. So, 1/4, a lot of students don't realize this. 1/4, that 1 over 4 just means 1 divide 4. That's what 1 over 4 means. Of is not division. Of is multiplication. So you're really saying 1 divide 4 times 50. That's it. So on your calculator, all you had to type was literally what we just said. When you say a quarter of 50, you're doing 1 divide 4 times 50. It's not hard. That line there literally means a quarter of 50. That's what it means. So if you type that in your calculator, which everyone has, it's $12.50. That means person A gets $12.50 and person B gets the remainder. Now you can find the remainder not by doing 3/4 of 50. You can also do it as 50 minus $12.50. Person B gets the remainder. So $37.50. Yeah. No, you're going to pause because I want you to copy these notes because one of the skills that you're lacking in is fluency skills. So every time you go to the toilet, you're missing out on this bit. So just hold on for a bit, yeah? All right, so today's skill is to be able to do that. Okay, so first part is interpreting and then getting your answer. That's what we're going to do. Okay? All right, let's do an example. Here we go. Now, if you didn't understand anything I just said or you zoned out, I already gave you a method. I summarized it here. First, calculate number of parts, which all of you can do. Just count the number of parts. Yeah, so 1 to 3, so there's 4 parts there. Step number 1's done. Step number 2, change it to a fraction, which you have here already, so you can read the graph. 1 out of 4 and 3 out of 4. Multiply that to the total quantity. There's only 2 steps there. How do you multiply it? Use a calculator. So whatever you copy in this first line here, you should be able to solve the problems. Okay, so that's the guide. If you didn't understand anything I just said, you can follow the process that's summarized there. All right, let's have a look at the first example. Example number 1. Let's make it money instead of meters. So this is 30 meters. Let's change that to $30 because we tend to understand money a bit better than meters. Here we go, $30. I want to divide $30 in the ratio of 2 to 3. Okay, I want it in a 2 to 3 ratio. So again, step number 1. First calculate total number of parts. So if it's a 2 to 3 ratio, how many parts are there? 5. Very good. That's step number 1 done. That's it. You literally add the number of parts. So 2 plus 3 gives you 5 parts. Now, person A will get, what's the fraction? 2 out of 5. Very good, because it's out of 5 parts. They're getting 2 out of 5. And person B is getting 3 out of 5. Now, if you want to know, out of the $30, person A is going to get 2/5 of $30. And person B is getting 3/5 of $30. Again, type that in your calculator and you'll be able to figure out how much it should be per one. So here we go. Let's do it. Person A, 2/5 of 30. This is what 2/5 of 30 actually means. On your calculator, here we go. 2/5 means 2 divided by 5, then of times 30, because the 30 is the total amount. Get $12. $12. So 2 divide 5 times 30. I literally type out the calculation so you can type in your calculator there. That equals to 12. So we now know person A, if we were splitting it up to 2 to 3 ratio, they get $12. But if they get $12, what's the remainder? 18. So you don't even have to work out the next bit. But you can too. You can actually just work it out as 3 over 5, which means 3 divide 5 times 30. I know the answer is going to be 18, but let's prove it. Here we go. 3 divide 5 times 30. I get 18 because it has to be the remainder. These two have to add up to the total amount, which is $30. So $30 when we say 2 to 3 ratio, you're really doing 2 out of the total. 2/5 of the total, 3/5 of the total. That's all you need to do. And that brings you, about a good section. That's the bare minimum across the state. If we ask the year 8 student on ratios, that's what students should know. But you know what's funny? That skill that I just showed you, across the state, that's not the average. They can't do that. That skill I just showed you, average across the state, cannot figure out $30 to the ratio of 2 to 3. It's a very simple process. What's lacking is not that it's hard, it's the practice. Thanks, Tilly. All right, here we go. So, if you didn't understand what I just showed you here and fractions scare you, then here's another intuitive way to do it. I don't really like it, but it works. Here's the other way. Some of you might relate to this more. So, again, same idea. $30. 2 to 3 ratio, yeah? So draw it. Here we go. 1 part, 2 parts. So group A, so it gets 2 parts. Person B gets 3. So 1, 2, 3. So again, same thing. How many parts do you see? 5. There are 5 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal parts. Now remember, if you add them all together, it has to equal to $30. So, how much is each part? 6. Now, how'd you get 6? Yeah, it's a very logical question, but actually when I was testing the students in the other class, one of the students, I asked the same thing. I said, $30 is the total. You've got 5 equal parts. How much does each one cost? They said 2. You see, what I'm trying to say, it's not that the maths is hard. It's sometimes you just got to pause and think. How do I do it? You got $30. How do you share it? So when I explain it that way, they got the right answer. So sometimes you just got to pause. Don't try to memorize the steps I'm telling you. Think about the problem. Each one is worth $6 like Lucas said. So logically, look at that. If each one is 6, A gets 2 of them. 6 plus 6 is 12. Makes sense. This one, B gets 3 of them. 6 plus 6 plus 6 is 18. Why don't I like teaching that way? Because I don't want you to go back to primary school. Just keep adding. We're so much more sophisticated than that by now. Primary school is addition. Mateo, thank you. We're now looking at more sophisticated ways. Another way to do it is you could have at least said 30 divide 5 gives you 6. So each part is $6. And maybe a better way, instead of adding them, it was better to say, let's times this by 6, times this by 6, and realize that is 12 and 18. That would be a better way than doing add. Yeah, because what if I wrote 99? If I wrote 99 to 50, you don't want to sit there and add 99 times and add 50 times. It's just ridiculous. So here, that's the other way to do it. But if you wanted to do it intuitively, that's all you needed. Draw the diagram. Figure out how much each part should be equal to, and then add up the number of parts. Okay? Let's flip over the page. Where's there? Another one over the page? Yes, there is. All right. I want you to have a go of this one. I'm going to pause the video. You're going to get 5 minutes. I'm going to ask some questions around. What's the total number of parts you got for this question? Can I please have Hauschwan? How many parts? 5. Very good. 1 plus 2 plus 2 gives you a total of 5 parts. So we know as a fraction, did it work?
Like it did change. If I press that, it goes up, but then it doesn't.
21 is the default, like the lowest setting.
Yeah, it's not cool at all.
Maybe open up the door. Maybe it could be cooler. Yeah, sure. Keep the door open. There you go. All right. Here's the... Thank you. Ashwan. Thank you for contributing. But now I'm speaking. Here we go. So you should have then the fractions. If you did the fraction method, that means the first person, so person A should get 1 out of the 5 parts. Person B, so there's person A, person B should get 2 out of 5 parts. And person C should also get 2 out of 5 parts. So if you were to type on your calculator, you're finding what's 1/5 of $200? What is 2/5 of $200? And yes, you are correct. It is $40. If you type on your calculator 1 divide 5 times 200, for those who can't do their fractions, you can type on the calculator. And this one should then be $80. Hands up if you got this correct.
Yeah.
Good. Excellent. That is the skill at minimum average, and which is technically the good section of your reports. That's what I want to see on the quiz, that you can do this type of question. Last one. This one is just a bit of thinking. Not really that much. Here you've got ratio of boys to girls. So boys to girls is 4 to 5. If there are 240 boys, so you know that there are 240 boys, how many students are there in total at this school? Okay, so I'm going to pause it. I'm going to pause the video. You get 3 minutes. Let's resume. Eyes and ears towards the board. Thank you.
Wait, Will, that game looks pretty fun. Yeah. I wonder why you have your hands on the arrow keys if you're looking at teams.
I'm not looking at teams. I don't think he's trying to hide the fact that he's playing yet.
I've done more.
Can you guys, Will, if you're playing games there, which does look like you're playing games, can you please close your laptop because you're not using it appropriately? Thank you. Sully, I'm teaching right now. Thank you for alerting me that he was playing games. But you guys could be better than that. You don't have to be like that. When I'm trying to teach to the class, you don't have to do that too. See, that's a choice that you guys make. It's disrespectful. Just think about that for a moment. You chose to be disrespectful. Why would you do that? That's not you. You know that. But in a crowd, amongst your peers, you seem to be immersed with this power of courageousness to do that. Don't do that. It's disrespectful. Yeah? All right, team. Last question for today. It was about you thinking, how would you problem solve this? You know it's a 4 to 5 ratio. Tilly, thank you. 4 to 5 ratio. And we know that the boys is 240. But the boys here is the 4 to 5 ratio. So you got to first figure out, well, what would I multiply to 4? What's the factor to get 4 to 240? Now this example I gave to you, it works out nicely. What's the method? How do we figure this out? Because I mentioned it last class. Yeah. Beautiful. Liam's got it. Thanks, team. Shh. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Liam's correct. Why do we divide 240 by 4? Tom. Sit over here. No, bring your seat. Sit over here. Ashwan. Stop talking. Will, separate. Sit over here too. Thank you. Can't believe it. It's the last class that I'm actually having, one of the last class that I'm having with you. I'm teaching you something very simple as well. And the fact that you have to be that disrespectful is beyond me. So thanks, Will. Whilst I appreciate how much work you've been doing, that doesn't mean that you do what you do in my class. I have better expectation of you. Don't speak blind speak is one of my first rules in the 3 rules I gave you. It's not like you don't know me. It's disappointing that you have to be that way. You don't have to be that way. You chose to be that way. All right. So Liam, and I just found it disrespectful as Liam was speaking, you were speaking. Just like, I don't understand, like, do you understand the concept of respect for your classmates and the people around you? You like to be treated with respect, but you don't give that. That is crazy. That's just like it's a two-way thing. If you want respect, you got to give it. Why don't you show respect to Liam when he's speaking? Why do you feel the need to speak while he's speaking? It's crazy. It's disappointing on my part as a teacher who's taught you for a year that I would have thought how many times I've mentioned about that as a cultural thing, as a just being a normal, good citizen. I'm not even asking you to be smart because you don't have to be. Just asking you to be a good person. It's crazy. To me. Maybe not to you. But to me, that's disrespectful when I see that. I'm calling it out. So he said 240 divided by 4 gives you 60. Why do we do that? The reason why I emphasize it is because your textbooks don't help you. Your textbooks make the numbers nice. In real life, that doesn't happen. Your numbers are like, when you earn money, it's not $240 on the dot. It could be $241.85. So when you want to work out the ratio, it's a bit harder. So I wanted you to understand the process that you're trying to figure out how many of these 4s fit into 240. What that actually means when you say how many 4s fit into 240 is actually 240 divided by 4. It happens to work out nicely as 60, but doesn't always have to. Okay? So in this case, yes, we did 240 divided by 4. We know it's 60. So that means 4 times 60 will get you 240. What do you do to one side? You do the other. You do to the other. So that's why 5 times 60 then gives you the number of 300. So now that you know there should be 300 girls, 240 boys. So how many students are there in total at this school? Good. 240 plus 300 gives you 540 students at this school. So at the bare minimum for exercise 6B, there's a bit of problem solving here that combines 6A knowing your ratios, how to simplify them. 6B was how to divide. So if you've got a certain amount, how do you divide it in the ratio? That's the skill. So that's what I'm looking for on Monday, half session. 6A, 6B is the main one. 6B and E tomorrow is weights. If you get it, great. If you don't, not a big part. But to get into the good, very good, at least I need to see that you can solve these problems. Because that's the bare minimum of using ratios to solve a problem. Otherwise, what's the point of learning these skills? You can't even apply them. Okay? Alright team, that's it. So it's 2:35 now. I'll walk around just to double check that you've been able to work on 6B. And if you haven't done 6A, you should be doing 6A. Because you only got tomorrow's session, then the weekend, and our last session's on Monday. Okay, Matteo? Yes, someone did ask as well. Yes. We're going to wait for Ashwin. Ashwin will go first, and then you can go next, yeah?
What does it say next to the 5 portion?
Students. Yeah.